Everybody, we decided today would be a good day to get out here and try to harvest some potatoes and stuff. We picked about 30 cucumbers a little earlier this morning, and we pulled some onions. We ended up with several good-sized onions. We're going to let them dry out, but we got into this potato bed, and like I said, this was an experimental bed. We didn't know how well it would do. But we've got 4 rows. They're about 12 or 14 foot long. We've dug, I don't know, you can see about 6 foot or so, and we have absolutely got the potatoes. I don't know what's in this ground in this particular spot, but potatoes like it. Like I said, these here bloomed 3 times, and they're still good and green. They're starting to die back a little bit, and I would like to use this little patch here for, we're going to plant some radishes and turnips and stuff, and I would like to get them in the ground. So we're going to go ahead and harvest these potatoes and get them in storage, and I don't know, we'll see what we got. And like I said, the way we do it is we get a pitchfork. We buy this at the flea market. I think it was like $5 or $6, and it's manual labor, but it's not that bad. I just get in from the side and just pull them up, and the little pitchfork will pull them right out. And there's more in there. I just didn't get them, but we grew really nice potatoes this year. We hope to get a good harvest out of these to put back for ourselves. I know potatoes are cheap, and a lot of people don't grow them because they're too cheap. I like fresh. Fresh is just better. You know, you can buy them potatoes that they put in the bags in the stores, and yeah, they'll last a little while longer. These will last pretty good. We store them in straw down in our basement, and they stay really well for us. But you get them right there, them new potatoes. You throw them inside of a pot of stew. Man, you talking about good. These are the Blue Goose Kennebecks. We may experiment with a few different varieties next year, but this is what we went with this year. I hadn't never grown potatoes. This is my first year growing them. My wife's grew them with her family several times, but I hadn't never grown potatoes, and so this was a trial and error type thing. And whatever we did to this little patch here worked, and we literally did nothing to it. We put them in the ground. I healed them up when they started coming out. The frost actually killed them in this patch here, because we had planted it and planted cucumbers and stuff, and it actually snowed about 4 inches right after we planted it, and it killed all of our potatoes. They came up, they were about that big, and it killed them all, this patch here. And all I did is I just come through and covered it back up with dirt, and we had to replant all of our cucumbers and corn and stuff up here, but the potatoes came back. I mean, they were wilted and died, but they came back, and this is what we got. We're going to get digging here, and we'll show you what we get whenever we're done. Well, we got our 4 rows dug. We walked it off to get an exact measurement, and it's about an 8 by 12 patch that we put them 4 rows of potatoes in. And we got this mineral bucket full of potatoes, and they're not little potatoes. We got a few that we poked, but we dig them up with a pitchfork by hand. We do everything by hand around here. It's just how it is. We don't have any fancy equipment to do it, so we make do with what we got. And we get out here on our hands and knees. I get on my knees every time I'm working in the garden. We got them dug. They're all good potatoes. Like I said, in an 8 by 12 patch, we grew that many potatoes. We didn't fertilize. All we done is we put them in the ground and left it. We didn't come back and weed. I healed them up after it frosted on them. But other than that, we've not done anything to this patch here. These are our onions. They're the sweet Vidalias. We went ahead and harvested them. They could have probably grown quite a bit more, but we're wanting to get this tilled up. We're actually going to till this patch and put some radishes and turnips in here. My uncle, we had talked about some winter patches, and that's one that we had discussed. We are going to put some wire around it to keep the chickens out, because all of my heads of lettuce, I didn't get to harvest but 1 head of lettuce, and I took it to my mother, and came back a few days later to pick us one, and the chickens had eaten every bit of it. So they got all the cabbage. the few things of corn we had right there, the chickens pecked through the husks and got the corn out of it. So we're gonna till this up and wrap it in wire, and we're gonna plant it in radishes and turnips. We've got several pepper plants and stuff we're still gonna stick in the ground. We're gonna put them between our watermelons and our cantaloupes just to see, because we got them for free. The old fella that bought our beans off of us, he runs a greenhouse, and he had a bunch of plants laying there, and my kids went crazy. They got I think they got 5 or 6 flats of plants, but we're gonna stick them in the ground. I mean, you never know. We've got empty ground that we didn't grow anything on, so we'll stick them in there and see. I've actually harvested some squash off some plants that was given to us they were dead, and we stuck them in the ground, and I've already got squash off of them. So you can't grow it if it's not in the ground, is what I like to say. And we stick everything in the ground as quickly as we can. But this is what we got. We've been out here. It's middle of the day, hot. We want to go ahead and get these potatoes dug up, and so we can get working on this patch here this evening, because it's getting late in the year, and we want to get it done. But we're going to get this stuff put up and try to go in, cool off for a minute, and we'll get back out here this evening and try to get some more done. We'll try to get some more videos and get it uploaded, and we appreciate you watching. Thank you.